What really happened? Who were the suspects? And why did this case spiral into one of the most talked about celebrity controversies online? In this video, you're going to uncover the shocking truth behind the suspects who were arrested, the timeline that doesn't quite add up, and the hidden details that most reports barely touched. We're breaking down the facts, the rumors, the official statements, and the unanswered questions, so by the end, you'll understand exactly what unfolded and why this case captured so much public attention. Stay with me, because the twists in this story are nothing short of mind-blowing. It all began with whispers. Late one evening, cryptic posts started circulating on entertainment forums. Anonymous accounts claimed that individuals connected to a high-profile celebrity had been taken into custody. At first, no names were mentioned. Just vague references. Investigation ongoing. Authorities involved. Shocking revelations coming. Then suddenly, the speculation sharpened. Fans of Yu Menglong, widely known for his roles in popular Chinese dramas and his early days in the music scene, woke up to trending hashtags linking his name to a developing case. Within hours, screenshots were everywhere. Some claimed financial misconduct. Others suggested internal disputes. A few went even further, spinning dramatic theories with no evidence. And that's when panic set in. But here's the critical point that many people missed in the chaos. The reports were about suspects connected to a broader investigation, not confirmed allegations against Yu Menglong himself. Yet the speed of online speculation blurred that distinction almost instantly. The arrests came swiftly. Authorities confirmed that multiple individuals had been detained as part of an ongoing inquiry. The language was careful. No direct accusations toward the actor. No formal charges against him. But in the age of viral headlines, nuance rarely survives. Imagine being at the center of a digital storm where millions are discussing your name without clarity. That's the power and danger of modern media cycles. Behind the scenes, investigators were reportedly examining financial irregularities tied to a business partnership. Several suspects were believed to have been involved in fraudulent activities, allegedly manipulating contracts and diverting funds. The scale of the alleged misconduct shocked insiders. And here's where it gets intense. One of the arrested individuals was rumored to have close professional ties within the entertainment industry. Not a random outsider. Not a distant associate. Someone who had been in proximity to major projects. That proximity fueled speculation that the situation was much bigger than originally thought. But let's slow down and focus on verified information. Public records confirmed that suspects were arrested on suspicion of economic crimes. Authorities emphasized that investigations were ongoing and that conclusions should not be drawn prematurely. Legal analysts pointed out that in complex financial cases, arrests often occur early to prevent evidence tampering while investigators continue gathering proof. So why did this story feel explosive? Because celebrity proximity changes everything. Yu Menglong's public image has long been associated with calm, composed roles and a relatively low-profile personal life. Fans saw him as disciplined and careful with his career choices. So when his name began trending alongside words like arrest and suspects, emotional reactions were inevitable. Social media became a battlefield. Some users rushed to defend him, pointing out that no official statement accused him of wrongdoing. Others insisted that where there's smoke, there's fire. Comment sections turned into heated debates. Screenshots of past interviews resurfaced. Old photos were reanalyzed as if they contained hidden clues. This is how digital narratives evolve. An arrest happens. Information is limited. The internet fills the gaps. Meanwhile, entertainment reporters scrambled to verify details. Industry insiders hinted that the investigation might be linked to a joint venture involving media production investments. Allegedly, contracts were signed under misleading terms, and certain funds were rerouted without proper authorization. If true, the implications could ripple far beyond one celebrity's orbit. But here's the twist that caught many off guard. Sources close to the situation suggested that Yu Menglong himself may have been unaware of the alleged misconduct, potentially making him more of a collateral figure in a larger financial scheme rather than a direct participant. Of course, until investigations conclude, such claims remain speculative. Still, that nuance matters. Legal experts explained that in many white-collar cases, individuals connected to a company may face intense scrutiny simply because of their association, even if they are not directly implicated. The mere presence of a famous name can amplify perceived involvement. Then came the official response. A carefully worded statement from Yu Menglong's representatives emphasized cooperation with authorities and clarified that he was not the subject of arrest. They urged the public to avoid spreading unverified rumors and to respect the investigative process. But by then, the narrative had already taken on a life of its own. Search trends spiked dramatically. Fan forums translated updates into multiple languages. International viewers, many unfamiliar with the nuances of local reporting, encountered fragmented headlines stripped of context. And that's when misinformation spread fastest. Edited clips. Out-of-context quotes. Fabricated insider messages. The digital ecosystem can transform uncertainty into perceived certainty within hours. Let's talk about motive. In alleged economic crime cases involving entertainment investments, motivations often revolve around rapid profit generation. The entertainment industry attracts high-value capital, and where there's high value, there's temptation. If certain suspects believed they could manipulate financial structures without detection, the potential rewards might have seemed worth the risk. But high-profile environments also mean high scrutiny. Authorities reportedly tracked irregular financial movements over months before making arrests. That suggests the investigation wasn't impulsive, it was methodical. Financial forensics can uncover patterns invisible to casual observers. Imagine investigators tracing digital trails across bank accounts, shell entities, and layered contracts. Each transaction a breadcrumb. Each document a puzzle piece. By the time arrests occur, significant groundwork has typically been laid. Another detail that shocked many observers was the speed with which industry partners distanced themselves. Production companies quietly removed collaborative promotions. Some brands temporarily limited visible endorsements. This isn't necessarily an admission of guilt, it's risk management. Reputation in entertainment is currency. And in moments of uncertainty, corporations often choose caution. But here's something important to remember. An arrest of suspects connected to a case does not automatically equate to guilt for everyone in proximity. Legal systems operate on evidence, not association. Yet public perception often moves faster than due process. One entertainment analyst noted that celebrity-adjacent investigations tend to follow 3 stages: shock, speculation, then recalibration once facts solidify. We're often living through stage 2 in real time. The emotional toll shouldn't be underestimated either. Imagine watching your career trajectory intersect with an investigation you may not have controlled. Projects paused. Public appearances scrutinized. Every silence interpreted as strategy. And yet, sometimes silence is simply legal prudence. In high-stakes investigations, public commentary can complicate proceedings. Lawyers often advise minimal statements until clarity emerges. That restraint can appear suspicious to outsiders, even when it's standard practice. So where does the case stand? Authorities continue examining financial documentation. The arrested suspects face formal inquiry. Court proceedings, if initiated, will determine accountability. Until then, much of what circulates online remains interpretation layered over incomplete information. What makes this case shocking isn't just the arrests, it's the collision of celebrity, finance, and digital amplification. It's the reminder that in the modern era, reputation can fluctuate overnight. It's the realization that proximity to alleged wrongdoing can trigger global speculation, even before evidence is fully presented. And it's the unsettling speed at which millions form conclusions based on fragments. For viewers of your channel, here's what matters most: understanding the difference between verified developments and viral exaggerations. Verified: suspects were arrested in connection with an investigation involving financial irregularities. Verified: Yu Menglong has not been officially reported as arrested in this case. Unverified: many of the dramatic theories circulating online. This distinction empowers you as an audience member. Instead of reacting to sensational headlines, you can evaluate the source, the wording, and the legal context. That's how you stay informed without being manipulated by hype. But let's zoom out for a moment. Why do stories like this captivate us so intensely? Because they combine mystery, status, and the human tendency to seek narratives. We want heroes and villains. We want clear arcs. But real investigations rarely unfold like scripted dramas. They're slow, procedural, often anticlimactic. The mind-blowing element isn't always hidden crime, it's how perception shapes reality. If the suspects are ultimately found guilty, the focus will shift to accountability and systemic lessons within entertainment investments. If evidence reveals a more complex or less dramatic truth, public opinion may recalibrate. Either way, the case serves as a cautionary tale about the volatility of fame in the digital age. And for Yu Menglong, the coming months will likely define more than just headlines, they may shape career decisions, partnerships, and public trust. So here's my question to you. In an era where information spreads faster than investigation results, how do we balance curiosity with responsibility? How do we engage with shocking news without becoming part of the rumor machine? While most of the city slept, a quiet operation was unfolding behind closed doors. Fluorescent lights hummed inside an office building where investigators moved with deliberate precision. Files were lifted. Hard drives were sealed. Phones were collected. No dramatic shouting. No chaotic chase scenes. Just controlled, calculated steps. And yet, by sunrise, the internet was in flames. The word "suspects arrested" began circulating alongside the name Yu Menglong, and within hours, confusion turned into frenzy. The speed at which the story spread was almost cinematic. One post became 10. 10 became thousands. Screenshots were shared faster than official updates could be verified. But here's where part 1 becomes even more intense. The suspects weren't random outsiders. They were reportedly connected to a business structure operating within the entertainment ecosystem, an ecosystem where investments, contracts, endorsements, and production budgets intersect in complex ways. That detail alone shifted the mood from mild curiosity to full-blown intrigue. Because when financial investigations touch the entertainment industry, the ripple effects can be enormous. Imagine a web of agreements, production partnerships, promotional collaborations, sponsorship deals. Each contract signed in confidence. Each transaction expected to follow strict regulatory standards. Now imagine investigators uncovering irregularities, numbers that don't align, payments routed through unexpected channels, documentation that raises more questions than answers. That's when suspicion escalates. Sources indicated that authorities had been quietly examining financial records long before the public ever heard a whisper. This wasn't a sudden reaction to online rumors. It was reportedly a methodical probe triggered by inconsistencies detected through oversight mechanisms. And when the arrests finally occurred, it suggested one thing clearly. Investigators believed there was enough preliminary evidence to justify detaining key individuals. Pause for a moment and picture that scene. A suspect sitting across from investigators in a sterile interview room. Documents laid out on the table. Questions asked with measured calm. Explain this transfer. Why was this contract amended? Who authorized this signature? This isn't dramatic television, it's how economic crime investigations often unfold. But what makes this story explosive is proximity. When individuals operating within a network tied to a recognizable public figure are arrested, the public doesn't separate the layers. They collapse them. Instantly. Yu Menglong's name wasn't attached to formal arrest reports. There were no confirmed statements accusing him of direct wrongdoing. Yet because some suspects allegedly had professional overlap within the broader business sphere, the internet filled in blanks that investigators had not. And that's where tension skyrocketed. Fan communities went into protective mode. Some began compiling timelines, analyzing previous business announcements, comparing dates of partnerships with the reported investigation period. Others urged calm, emphasizing the lack of direct charges against the actor. Meanwhile, critics took a harsher tone. He must have known. Some argued online. There's no way this happens without awareness. But that assumption oversimplifies complex financial ecosystems. In entertainment ventures, especially those involving investments, celebrities are often one layer within a multi-tiered operational structure. Managers handle negotiations. Financial officers oversee accounting. Legal teams draft contracts. External partners manage logistics. If irregularities occurred, the responsibility trail must be traced carefully, not emotionally. Still, emotions were everywhere. One particularly striking moment came when an old interview resurfaced in which Yu Menglong spoke about the importance of integrity in professional life. Viewers replayed the clip repeatedly. Some saw irony. Others saw reassurance. The same footage sparked two completely different interpretations depending on the viewer's bias. That's the psychology of controversy. The arrests themselves reportedly focused on suspected financial misconduct allegations involving contract manipulation and unauthorized fund movements. Authorities did not release excessive detail, likely to preserve the integrity of the investigation. But even limited information was enough to ignite imagination. Financial crime doesn't always look dramatic on the surface. There are no masked figures sprinting through alleys. Instead, it hides in spreadsheets, in altered clauses, in small percentage adjustments that accumulate into significant sums. It's quiet. Until it isn't. Industry analysts began weighing in cautiously. Some explained that in high-value entertainment deals, even minor contractual deviations can trigger serious legal consequences. Others noted that increased regulatory scrutiny in recent years has made financial compliance more rigorous across media sectors. If the suspects believed discrepancies would go unnoticed, they may have underestimated the sophistication of modern auditing systems. But here's another angle that deepens the mystery. Timing. Why did the arrests occur when they did? Was there a triggering discovery? A whistleblower? A routine audit that uncovered something unusual? Investigations of this nature rarely reveal their origin story immediately. And that silence feeds speculation. Inside entertainment circles, the reaction was measured but palpable. Certain promotional campaigns slowed. Collaborative appearances were quietly adjusted. It wasn't dramatic cancellation, it was subtle distancing. A strategic pause. Not necessarily because guilt was assumed, but because uncertainty is a reputational risk. The entertainment world operates heavily on perception. Investors, sponsors, and production teams prefer stability. Even the hint of controversy can shift decision-making. For Yu Menglong, this meant navigating a situation where his name was trending in connection with an investigation he was not officially arrested in. That distinction matters legally, but socially, it's more complicated. Online narratives don't always respect legal nuance. At the height of the frenzy, misinformation surged. Fabricated, leaked documents circulated. Anonymous posts claimed insider knowledge. None of it confirmed. All of it shared thousands of times. And here's the unsettling part. Once a rumor spreads widely enough, even corrections struggle to catch up. Digital virality rewards speed, not accuracy. Yet amid the noise, one fact remained steady. Authorities had arrested specific suspects in connection with suspected financial wrongdoing, and the investigation was ongoing. No official announcement declared Yu Menglong as a detained individual in this case. That gap between confirmed facts and amplified assumptions is where tension lives. Legal experts often emphasize that arrest does not equal conviction. Detention allows investigators to secure testimony, prevent interference, and gather further evidence. In complex financial cases, this stage can last months before formal charges are clarified. But public patience rarely lasts that long. We live in an era conditioned for instant conclusions. This case also raises a broader question about celebrity involvement in business ventures. As entertainers diversify into investments and production roles, their exposure to financial risk increases. Even if they delegate operational control, association alone can create reputational vulnerability. It's a delicate balance between expansion and oversight. Could stronger internal auditing mechanisms have prevented this? Were warning signs overlooked? Or were the alleged irregularities concealed so strategically that detection required deep forensic analysis? These are the kinds of questions investigators will eventually answer through evidence, not speculation. Until then, what we're witnessing is the unfolding of a high-profile inquiry in real time. The tension isn't just about guilt or innocence. It's about uncertainty. It's about watching how quickly perception can shape reality. It's about observing how digital communities respond when a familiar name appears in an unfamiliar context. And it's about understanding that sometimes the most shocking truth isn't a dramatic confession, it's the complexity behind a headline. As this investigation continues, every official update will matter. Every clarified detail will either tighten the narrative or dismantle assumptions. The suspects will face legal scrutiny. Evidence will be examined. Due process will unfold step by step. But right now, we're standing in the middle of part 1. The arrests have happened. The questions are louder than the answers. The public is watching closely. And the story is far from over. What do you think about the suspects' alleged financial misconduct? Do you believe proximity to a case automatically damages a celebrity's credibility, or should public figures be shielded from assumption until proven otherwise? Could this situation change how entertainers approach business partnerships in the future? I want to hear your perspective. If this deep dive helped you see beyond the surface headlines, make sure you like this video, share it with others who are following the story, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next update as the investigation develops. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think there's more to uncover in part 1? What detail stood out to you the most? Let's talk about it.